Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
And I'm Mike. And here we are with part 2, day 2 of our look at green iguanas. The very beautiful, lovely, fast, excellent swimming, and three-eyed lizard. Well, actually, it's an iguana.
That's
I don't know the difference, but they're similar. And it has gone from being a pet to a pest, from a good thing people might have in their homes as a loved member of their family, like a dog or a cat, to a pest, something that we have too many of. They're causing trouble in the environment, and maybe we're even hunting them because we want to kill them because there are too many. You know, well, sometimes animals will get in the farmer's field and, you know, eat all the bananas or something, and that can cause big problems.
You are absolutely right. But right now, so far, we only learned that iguanas are quite cute. They're just weird pets. Pets we don't often hear people own. How about you? Have you ever owned like a weird type of pet?
Well, my cat's pretty weird, but that's just my cat and his weird personality.
Yeah, cats and dogs are really common.
Yeah, they're not weird pets. No, I've never really had a weird pet. A good friend of mine in high school, his older brother had a snake.
Ooh.
That's probably the weirdest pet I've been around, and I liked kind of holding on to the snake. It was interesting and cool, but when he explained how he has to feed it and take care of it and how his mom is afraid of the snake so she won't feed it when he's away, you know, and it was quite expensive too. It just seemed like a lot of trouble. And of course, my mom said, no way, you are not getting a snake. So that was the reason. So I've never really had a weird pet like an iguana or a snake. I did have a kind of pet squirrel.
You had a pet squirrel?
Well, it was a squirrel that lived in a tree next to my apartment.
Okay.
And he used to come into my house and we would have lunch together.
Like,
so
you would have a little chat while you have your lunch?
Well, no, it would sit on my knee and it would eat nuts.
That is so cute.
It was kind of cute, but it wasn't my pet. It was just a friend from the neighborhood.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the only weird one. Would you ever think of getting something like this? An iguana, a snake? Ooh, I know a lot of people here in Taiwan and Japan. Beetles. Those big bugs. Would you ever think about something like that?
I am not a fan of beetles.
Okay.
I like, you know, little cute furry animals like dogs and cats or rabbits. Rabbits are really cute too.Maybe a turtle?
Okay.
Oh, I have had a turtle before.
Turtles are pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
and
like
they're not easy to
turtles.
take care of either.
Yeah, they're not so bad. How about if your daughter or someone was like, Mom, can I have an iguana? What would you say?
I would probably tell her, maybe when you grow a little older.
That seems fair. That seems fair. Because they do take extra care. You do need to be responsible. So let's find out what they're like as pets and what iguanas are like as pests too.
Due to green iguanas' uniqueness, they have become a popular choice for many exotic pet lovers. However, though they may seem like great pets initially, green iguanas can grow to around 2 meters in length. This means they soon become an inconvenience. Many owners deal with this by simply releasing their iguanas into the wild. This practice has caused big problems in countries where iguanas are not native to the environment. In warm climates, released iguanas not only survive but thrive, and they breed at an alarming rate. For example, in Taiwan, where green iguanas were introduced as pets roughly 30 years ago, the wild population is currently thought to be around 200,000. These invaders are now causing problems by eating crops and digging holes in embankments.
All right, so from day 1, you guys remember we have a good idea of what green iguanas are as very interesting animals. Let's get to the second part of the title, From Pets to Pests. From something good that people might want to collect and have at home to something bad that people want to get rid of. What happened to the green iguana? Where did it all go wrong?
I have no idea. Well, let's learn about it. Due to green iguanas' uniqueness, they have become a popular choice for many exotic pet lovers. And they're definitely exotic.
Very.
And they were talking about due to iguanas' uniqueness. When you're saying something has like its uniqueness, it's special, it's different in its own way, usually in a good way, right? However, though they may seem like great pets initially, green iguanas can grow to around 2 meters in length. Oh, that's crazy. That is pretty long. 2 meters? That's like 200 centimeters, right?
Yeah, it's taller than me.
Oh my goodness.
That's big.
Huge.
I mean, it's mostly tail. Half of that would be the long, skinny tail. But still, imagine that. You get this little, oh, it's so cute, look at this shit on my hand. And then suddenly it's bigger than you.
That is crazy.
That is a little scary. And often people don't really understand how big these pets can get. Initially, it might seem small and cute and easy to take care of. A few years later, you got a dinosaur in your house.
That's right. So you mentioned the word initially, and that is an adverb. So initially is an adverb that means something that happened at the beginning or in the early stages of something. So you would say, at the beginning, I thought they were really, really cute.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, boom, 2 meters in length.
Not so cute.
Okay, so for example, you can say, initially, I thought Jerome was rude, but I've since grown to like him. Okay.
Yeah, we would often use the simple phrase at first.
Yes.
At first or in the beginning. And then, of course, things change and you talk about how it's changed. So initially they seem quite small and cute, but later on they can be big. And as the article says, and I'm sure as you guys know, this means they soon become an inconvenience. It's not fun having a 2-meter mini dragon living in your home, and it is inconvenient. It can make your life hard and difficult and, make this suddenly not a good idea. Many owners deal with this by simply releasing their iguanas into the wild. Oh, guys, never do this. If you take in a pet, you're taking in a member of your family. You don't throw your sister away because she becomes an inconvenience. No, you need to take care of these things and be responsible.
That's right.
If you don't know what you're doing, don't get one in the first place. Because many animals, let's be fair, can be an inconvenience. Something that is an inconvenience, it is something that is giving trouble in your life. It's causing problems in your life. It's making what could be a nice, simple, normal day suddenly become because of all these inconveniences. If you've ever discovered that you left your phone at home, that's an inconvenience. You can't look up stuff, you can't send messages, you can't get your emails. It just brings trouble to your life. Not terrible trouble that will make everything awful, but enough trouble that you'll be in a bad mood and things will just be much more difficult than they should be. For example, the train delay was an inconvenience as I ended up late to the show. The train did come, but 30 minutes late, so of course everything in my life after that was more trouble or more inconvenient, to use the adjective form.
That's right. So because of the inconvenience,
Yeah.
a lot of them release them into the wild.
Right.
They're saying goodbye to their lovely pets. It's like their family, which is really, really sad,
Yeah, we
right?
don't kick our pets out when they become big or inconvenient. You have to be responsible. So what happens now with all these wild iguanas running around?
Let me tell you, this practice has caused big problems in countries where iguanas are not native to the environment. In warm climates, released iguanas not only survive, but thrive. And they breed at an alarming rate. Wow! Okay, so they can breed at an alarming rate. So what does it mean to breed? The word breed has multiple meanings, but including to reproduce, to have babies, or to raise and to cause. But in today's case, we're talking about have babies. You release them into the wild and they start having lots and lots and lots of babies.
They're really good at it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So for example, you can say the insects usually breed in areas with lots of water. They have lots of babies in areas with lots of water. Okay, so that means we'll have too many of them, right?
Exactly, and too many iguanas can be a problem, especially in places where they don't have any iguanas in the wild or any animals that eat iguanas, because now it's iguana party land, and that can cause big problems. For example, in Taiwan, where green iguanas were introduced as pets roughly 30 years ago, the wild population is currently thought to be around 200,000.
Wow.
200,000 iguanas living in Taiwan. And around 30 years ago, so back in what, the 1990s, there were basically zero out there. So now iguanas are a big problem. And of course, there are many birds, many different types of insects and other animals that have never had to fight off or protect themselves from iguanas. But for the iguanas, it's open season. It is a buffet lunch out there.
Exactly. So too many iguanas right now. What are we going to do? These invaders are now causing problems by eating crops and digging holes in embankments.
Hey, iguanas!
Crazy. Well, they need to eat, right?
No, but what about the digging holes in embankments? Maybe that's where they hide and lay their eggs.
Maybe. So they are causing a lot of trouble because we have too many of them. But it's not their fault, right?
No, but we're going to have to do something about it when there are pests like this out in the environment and, affecting people and farming. It is a problem that needs to be solved. So let's find out after the break what we're going to do about all these iguanas, you crazy animals.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Kenny， 今天要来看看为何绿鬣蜥会从宠物变成害兽。由于绿鬣蜥的独特性，它们成了许多喜爱奇异宠物人士的热门选择。一开始，绿鬣蜥看起来也许是很棒的宠物，可是它们可以长到大约2公尺长，很快就成为了饲主的麻烦。那许多饲主的解决方法就是直接把它们放生到野外。如果这发生在鬣蜥并不是原生环境的国家，就会造成很大的问题。在温暖的气候中，被放生的鬣蜥不但可以存活，还能茁壮生长，以令人担忧的速度来繁殖。像在台湾，绿鬣蜥大约是在30年前被引入来当作宠物，那目前野生数量被认为大约有20万只。这些入侵者会啃食农作物，在堤岸挖洞，造成许多问题。好，文中用到 invader 表示入侵者、侵略者 ，embankment 则是指堤岸、路堤，而单字 initially 这个副词它表示最初、开始。Inconvenience 则表示不便、麻烦，它是名词，可以当可数或不可数用。下一个单字 breed 这个动词表示动物繁殖，或者是表达饲养。它当繁殖来解释时是不及物动词，当饲养来解释时是及物动词。那它的三态是 breed, bred, bred。Karen 老师在解释单字时有提到 reproduce 这个字，在 produce 前面加上 re 这个字首，那 reproduce 就是表达繁殖、繁衍的意思。这边有2个重点，我们进入文法时间。我们来看第一个重点是 where 当关系副词的用法。首先 where 引导形容词子句用来限定先行词的范围，使它修饰的地点更为具体时，我们要用限定用法 where 的前面不加逗号。例如 This is a place where you can feel at home， 这是一个你可以感到自在的地方。那第二个，当 where 引导形容词子句用来补述说明先行词的话，那这时候要用非限定用法 where 前面要加逗号。例如 Ed spent 2 months a year in Tainan, where most of his relatives live. Ed 1年有2个月待在台南，他大部分的亲戚都住在那里。好，那第二个重点是 at 而或 and 加上形容词加上 rate， 可以表达以什么样的速度。例如Internet fraud is increasing at an alarming rate. 网络诈骗正以令人担忧的速度日益增加。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
To control this, the government has had to create a special task force to hunt the creatures, even offering a cash reward for each iguana caught or killed. It is sad that these amazing creatures, through no fault of their own, have to suffer because of our mistakes. However, this situation can serve to remind us that nature is sensitive to the smallest changes. Therefore, we should always be very careful when we interfere with the Earth's natural balance.
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we were talking about the green iguanas, but not as pets, not as the unique pets, but we're talking about them as pests.
That's
right?
Yes.
It's actually a big problem in many countries because a lot of them At first, they would own them as little adorable pets in the home, but then once they grow up to be 2 meters in length, then they would release them back into the wild. And then they start having lots and lots of babies. So in places like Taiwan, we have around 200,000 green iguanas. And they're causing a lot of problem because they eat the crops and also digging holes, right?
Exactly right. Yes, they're eating rice in fields or pineapples on trees or who knows what, but they're causing a lot of trouble and costing a lot of money to farmers and others. So, what do? It says, to control this, the government has had to create a special task force to hunt the creatures, even offering a cash reward for each iguana caught or killed.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
back in the Wild West, they'd call that a bounty. So basically, if you go out and hunt iguanas in the fields and in the forests of Taiwan, you might actually get paid by the government. Now, I don't think we should all be doing this because it sounds difficult and dangerous, but that is how bad the situation is. The government is actually getting people to hunt them because they want to get rid of them quickly in large numbers if possible. And yes, it might mean you get a reward. A reward, here we are using it as a noun. It could be a verb, but it's basically a cash prize that you get for doing something. Often something good and often something you might just volunteer to do, right? So if you're getting paid for your work, that's not a reward. That's something you should get. You earned it. You deserve it. But imagine you're walking along and you find something like a person's wallet or a phone on the street, and you pick it up and you go, oh, whose is this? And then you find a name on it. You give that back to the person who lost it, and they're like, oh, I'm so happy. Here, I'm giving you some money for doing a good thing, for doing the right thing, for doing something that you didn't have to do, but you did it to be kind, to be good, to be helpful. Here's some money. Thank you very much. That's your reward. For example, the police offered a reward for anyone who had information about the crime. If you know something and tell the police, and what you tell them helps to catch that person, you could get a reward, maybe a big reward, like thousands or millions of dollars for a serious crime.
Exactly. And you get a reward for catching or killing the iguana.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not thousands of dollars, but you know, it would be a little bit of money. And maybe if you're a farmer and you have them in your field, this would be enough to get you to go out and do some iguana hunting.
That's true, but it is sad.
It is
right?
sad. No one likes to do this.
It is sad that these amazing creatures,
Yeah.
through no fault of their own,
True.
have to suffer because of our mistakes.
We were just pets.
Exactly. However, this situation can serve to remind us that nature is sensitive to the smallest changes. So the problem wouldn't exist in the first place if we didn't have them as pets.
Exactly. Cane toads are a big pest in Australia. In Florida, they have a lot of snakes living wild that were also pets that people release. This is a big problem, and people need to think more and be more responsible. Therefore, we should always be very careful when we interfere with the Earth's natural balance. Mother Earth has been managing things for millions of years. If we suddenly take a bunch of animals from this part of the world and move them to that part of the world, it can make things go crazy, and we, along with nature, end up paying the price for it.
Exactly. We shouldn't interfere at all, right? So to interfere, it means to get involved in a situation when it's not wanted or helpful, and that is a verb. So for example, you could say, music interferes with my ability to focus. And it does happen to some people. Okay, well, after reading the article, we do have a what do you think question. Which other animals are pests? How do we deal with them?
Oh, well, there's one I often think about. Cockroaches here in Taiwan, of course, can get into your kitchen or restaurants. And I know this because you always see it and hear it. We deal with them by often spraying poison gas around under the streets.
That's right.
They'll often tell you in your neighborhood, you'll hear it. And then when you come out an hour later, there's all these cockroaches going around and they're all dying, but at least they're not going to be there to spread disease and cause trouble.
That's
So,
right. And
let's
also
be careful.
rats as well,
Rats
right?
too,
And then you
yes.
can set up the mouse traps, try to catch them, but we really don't want pests because they bring us a lot of trouble.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to have more good stuff soon. Until then, take care of yourselves, your iguanas, and each other, and we'll see you soon.
See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
课文接着提到，为了控制这种情况，政府不得不成立特别工作小组来猎捕这些动物，甚至还为每只被捕捉或捕杀的鬣蜥提供现金奖励。那令人难过的是，这些动物本身并没有做错任何事，却必须为人们的错误而受苦。我们应该要意识到，大自然对最小的变化都很敏感，所以在干涉地球的自然平衡时，应该要随时保持谨慎。好，单字 reward。Reward 这个名词，它表示奖赏、报酬或是回报。Mike 老师刚刚有提到 bounty 这个字 ，B-O-U-N-T-Y，bounty 它表示奖金或是赏金。下一个单字 interfere。Interfere 表示干涉、干扰，是个动词，它常常会搭配介系词 with。好，这边有个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，这边我们来整理 be sensitive to 加名词的用法。第一个，它可以表达对什么敏感的，易受到什么影响的，像是 My mom is highly sensitive to cigarette smoke。我妈对烟味很敏感。那第二个意思可以表达对什么敏感，容易因为什么而生气或难过的，例如Everyone is sensitive to certain topics. 每个人都会对某些话题很敏感。那第三个，它可以表达能够理解什么、体恤什么什么的意思。例如 ，Mandy is sensitive to other people's feelings and needs. Mandy 能够理解别人的感受和需求。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Due to green iguanas' uniqueness, they have become a popular choice for many exotic pet lovers. However, though they may seem like great pets initially, green iguanas can grow to around 2 meters in length. This means they soon become an inconvenience. Many owners deal with this by simply releasing their iguanas into the wild. This practice has caused big problems in countries where iguanas are not native to the environment. In warm climates, released iguanas not only survive but thrive, and they breed at an alarming rate. For example, in Taiwan, where green iguanas were introduced as pets roughly 30 years ago, the wild population is currently thought to be around 200,000. These invaders are now causing problems by eating crops and digging holes in embankments. To control this, the government has had to create a special task force to hunt the creatures, even offering a cash reward for each iguana caught or killed. It is sad that these amazing creatures, through no fault of their own, have to suffer because of our mistakes. However, this situation can serve to remind us that nature is sensitive to the smallest changes. Therefore, we should always be very careful when we interfere with the Earth's natural balance.
Whoa! Check that out. Now that is killer.
Killer? What? Is the mannequin a killer in disguise?
No, we're not talking about actual murder. Killer here just means that it's outstanding. Like that dress on that mannequin over there is just gorgeous.
Okay, I get it. Well, that design is killer. Look at the elegant design and pattern.
Yeah, I think you should try it on.
Why not? It might make me look killer too, huh? Yeah, I think the color is really good, eh?
Hi everyone, today we're discussing the term killer.
Right, and it isn't always linked to crime. It can also be slang for something extremely attractive or impressive.
For example, in fashion, a killer dress is one that is exceptionally stylish and likely to grab attention.
And in tech, a gadget with killer features has high quality or innovative functions that set it apart from competitors.
Exactly. It's often used for complimenting people too. For instance, you can describe someone's appearance with terms like killer smile, or simply say, You look killer today.
It's also used to praise skills. For example, if someone performs very well, you can say they gave a killer performance. And if they're good at communicating, you can call them a killer communicator.
Absolutely. It's a killer term that can be used in many different situations.
And that's all for today.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.